thank goodness, we did make it through the border. But it was all very, very stressful, as you'll see a little bit further on in the video. The whole experience was really stressful. So to get over it, we decided to get on our bikes and take a cycle ride to a man-made beach.
A couple of old, certainly quarries of some sort, and the guy at the campsite said it's great, they've got beaches and palm trees and everything. So far it's been a bit of a kind of like a tour of some industrial wasteland.
It's strange.
Yeah.
A motorway type bridge.
Yeah.
Which was a bit scary.
Nearly there now. Just around this corner. Well, we have just had lunch. We had a really lovely pizza, a beer and a
Coke, Diet Coke.
Oh yeah, a Coke.
Yeah.
And it's basically cost us about £9.
Yeah.
Which
in
we
a
think
really
was
nice restaurant,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
We actually chose what looked like the really expensive restaurant because we thought that because there were hardly any people there really. All the others were much busier.
And we met a really lovely young man.
Yeah.
And we've had a really nice time in there.
Anyway, now we're heading up into the village here to see if we can find a shop to buy some washing up liquid.
And the young man said, no, don't be scared of the bridge, because we were scared of that bridge on the way here.
We were.
It was so busy. Well, we thought it was busy, and it looked like it was a tramway and goodness knows what else. But he said, no, don't be scared, it's fine. He laughed at us, actually. So there we go. Yeah.
And what was really cool is we've got some information things that we ought to be looking for, things to eat, places to visit. And we were just checking with him about, in this instance, the food. And I pronounced this particular food, and he just laughed.
In a nice way.
Yeah.
Like belly laughing.
He laughed and went on to explain what this food is, and it sounds lovely, so we're going to try it one day soon. And then I just said to him, were you laughing at the way I pronounced it? And he went, yes. You just got to love that honesty. It's fantastic. Really, really good.
Right, come on, let's go.
Go on then. Now, when we entered Romania a few days ago, we didn't record any of the border crossing because we just thought we better not have cameras on show while we're doing that. So just a couple of little points to make about that. One was that the border post had, I think it was 4 different lanes up to the border control sort of kiosks. And 2 of them had the EU flag on them and said EU passports. And we'd read that because we're now not EU passport holders, that we should go down the lane that says all passports. So we did that, we followed the instructions, and when we reached the end, we found that that kiosk wasn't staffed, and one of the border control officers came down and basically told us, you shouldn't be here, get back in place in the line. So we had to do a kind of a 50-yard reverse of shame past all these EU cars that we'd just overtaken in the queue, no doubt with them laughing at us raucously. And then we had to politely get back in the queue, and wait our turn with everybody else. So, first piece of advice, don't use the all passports lane, just stay in the line with everybody else. The next piece of advice is make sure you've got your original copy of your registration document for your vehicle, the V5 in the UK, because you will need it. I forgot to bring ours. I thought, before we left, I'll just scan this and make a few copies of it so that we've got some copies with us in case we need them for any reason. So that was a good idea. What wasn't a good idea was accidentally leaving it under the screen on our scanner at home. So when we arrived at the border post and found we hadn't got the original copy, turned out to be a bit of an issue. The border guy was not very impressed, was he?
No, he wasn't. And because their hatch is on my side, I was sent out of the van with this photocopy of the V5, and he said to me, "This is a photocopy," and I said, "I know." So yeah, not good really. Anyway, he did some huffing and tutting, and he even said, "Well, I think you should go back." And then I just stood by the window, and then he was flicking through the passport then, and then I saw him pick the stamp up, and he stamped it, because obviously we needed to stamp to get out of Schengen zone. So yeah, he stamped it, and I thought, phew. But he said his final statement was, "You will have the same trouble in Bulgaria."
Yeah. He just went, just go.
Go. Yeah.
So we've put a rescue plan into operation, and we've got a fantastic friend of ours back at home to go and recover the V5 from our scanner and put it in the post to a
friend of mine's mother who lives in Romania.
Yeah. So fingers crossed, we're going to be collecting that from them in about a week's time over the other side of Romania, and then we'll be all fully equipped for future border crossings. So needless to say, the border guard was not very happy with us, and Sarah was not very happy with me.
This is quite true.
Totally understandably.
I think I didn't speak to him for the next 50 miles.
So lesson learnt, don't any of you make the same mistake that I made. And we're loving Romania.
We are.
Beautiful. We do just need to find some more authentic food though, as we had a pizza at one of the places, and then we've just been making food in the van. So
are you not confessing to the McDonald's then?
No, I'm not going to confess to going to McDonald's for lunch yesterday. Even though it was very, very nice.
Just a few minutes drive from our campsite near the town of Lipova, we did this short hike up to Somos Fortress. It's pretty sad to see it crumbling, as it's a very important place dating from the 12th century. The views of the Mureș River and the valley are stunning from up here.
Every now and again, when you're away from home, you have to deal with items of personal administration. This is one of those mornings. What's this going to look like? Good job I don't really care. Rachel, could you just pop over to Romania for a bit?
We're standing here at the Basilica Minor Maria Radna in the town of Lipova. a really beautiful basilica, and we were recommended to come here by a friend in England who lives in this area. So we came here. We tried to come here yesterday actually, but there was absolutely no way could we park within probably 2 miles. The place was rammed, and we've just spoken to the really lovely people inside the basilica, and they said that there were 20,000 people here yesterday, and they held 5 masses in different languages. So yesterday was the 15th of August, and that's one of their special days, and they have a couple a year.
Yeah, some people actually will walk 300 miles on their pilgrimage to come here. So yeah, they really do treat it as a very special place. Here we are then, our 4th day in Romania, and we've come to visit Corvin's Castle. What do you think of this?
Well, I think it's pretty spectacular. A bit of a fairy tale castle.
Absolutely beautiful.
And we're not in Disney.
No, we're certainly not in Disney.
It's real then.
It is absolutely a real castle.
That's amazing.
Come on then, let's go inside. Lots of work going on to renovate this old castle. Really good that they maintain access for the visitors while all that's going on.
In the first place in the 14th century on top of it was a fortress, so just the base of a fortress. Then it was carried on in the early 15th century, beg your pardon, late 15th it was added to, and in the 17th century it was added to, and then when we got to the 19th and 20th centuries then the restoration commenced to what it is today, and restoration, as we have seen, continues.
It's a beautiful place.
It's amazing, really.
With an amazing outlook over the city.
Continuing our drive north, we stopped at Alba Iulia with its tremendous Bastion Citadel, and we got the bikes out to go and see it for ourselves. This place, magnificent and historic though it looks, turns out was built in 1921 on the occasion of the coronation of King, of the king who was the king at the time. After a fabulous day out in Alba Iulia, we cycled back to our free campsite. And then we took a walk over the suspension bridge, which crosses the river to the little village on the other side, where we met these guys. And then we crossed back to the campsite for a fabulous night's sleep, and then carried on the journey the next morning.
A gentleman on the campsite that we stayed at had mentioned that King Charles, our King Charles, visited here on a regular basis, was a friend of Romania. Apparently King Charles owns a property in the village of Zlan Patak in Transylvania, which is right from where we are now. It's only a 4-hour drive. It doesn't have any sort of highfalutin things in there. It's I think the most modern item he's got is a hi-fi that plays CDs. And he visits once a year, and he was here in June, and he loves it here. He loves the country, everything that they do, and I find that quite remarkable, and I'm really quite chuffed that we're here. And he hopes that more people, apparently he hopes that more people from Britain will come and visit Romania. So here we are, Charles. We're here, and I'm very proud to be here to represent Britain. That's very touching. Anyway, there we go.
I'm going underground, till your loving comes around,
We're currently walking down a very, very long tunnel and we're visiting the Salina Tarda, which is a salt mine. It's supposed to be very, very spectacular, but we're not there yet.
A long walk.
Absolutely unbelievable. So we're in the bottom of this salt mine, which is just vast. You just can't fathom the scale of this. Maybe we'll put some numbers on the screen or something when we find out the facts behind this. But disused salt mine, basically an enormous hole in the ground, and it's astonishing to see how they've basically commercialised it,
Yes.
making it pay for itself.
Can I say what's at this level?
Yeah.
So at this level, we've got a Ferris wheel, snooker tables, ping pong tables, an amphitheatre, some of those massaging relaxation chairs, a shop.
Well, looking over here, we're now looking over into the bottom of a conical-shaped salt pit, which has formed a lake at the bottom, which I think they said is 8 meters deep. And basically, you can hire a boat to paddle around this lake. The formations of the shapes that the salt leaves on the side of the caverns is absolutely beautiful, with all the various layers of salt as it's formed over, I guess, millions of years. It's just an amazing sight. We actually climbed down, I think I counted 13 flights of stairs. Something ahead of us in the very near future is we've got to get back out of here.
Yeah.
There is a lift, but there's a very, very long queue for the lift because it's a very small lift. So maybe we'll see. If you see us in a minute absolutely exhausted, you know that we took the stairs. We've spent the last few days here in Romania at a campsite called the Swallow's Nest. It's been absolutely beautiful. It's really calm, chilled, laid back. So we spent 2 days here in order to catch up on a bit of the video editing and just gather ourselves for the next part of our journey. See you later when we're back on the road.